There's a type of silence you only notice when it's been broken. It's not the silence of an empty house, not the hush of a forest at night. It's the kind that hangs in the air just before something happens. That was the silence I walked into the day I moved into my grandfather's house. He'd passed away 3 months earlier, and out of everyone in the family, they picked me to take care of the property. No one else wanted it, and after what I've experienced, I understand why. The house sat on the edge of a small town in Vermont, far enough from the center to feel secluded, but close enough that you could hear the distant hum of passing cars if you left a window open. It was old, real old, white paint peeling off wooden siding, a creaky front porch with a swing that moved on its own when the wind picked up, and inside, the air smelled faintly of mothballs, dust, and something else I couldn't place. Something sour. I moved in mid-October. Leaves were falling like confetti, and the sky seemed stuck in permanent twilight. I brought only the essentials, some clothes, a mattress, my laptop, and a flashlight. That last one would turn out to be more important than I ever expected. I spent my first few days cleaning. The house had been closed up for a while, and spiders had claimed most of the corners. I didn't mind the work, though. It kept my mind off the strangeness of it all, the feeling that I wasn't really alone in there. Not in the ghost sense, more like the house itself was aware, watching. It started with the light. There's a hallway upstairs, right outside what used to be my grandfather's study. And in the middle of that hallway, there's a ceiling light that flickers. Only doesn't just flicker, it pulses, slow, steady like a heartbeat. I changed the bulb twice, had the wiring checked. No issues, but every night, without fail, it would start again. Same rhythm, same glow, and always after sunset. I tried to ignore it, blamed it on old wiring, but deep down I knew something was off. One night around 2 a.m., I got up to get water. As I passed the hallway, the light turned off. Not flickered, not dimmed, just gone. I stood there, staring into the dark, and then it came back on, but dimmer, yellow, and for just a second, I thought I saw a shadow underneath it. Not a person, more like an outline, tall, thin, motionless. I blinked and it was gone. I laughed it off the next morning, told myself I was overtired, maybe dehydrated. But that night, I started locking my bedroom door, just in case. On the fifth night, I found the diary. It was buried at the bottom of an old chest in the attic. Leather-bound, worn, no name on the cover, just a year, 1957. I opened it out of curiosity, expected gardening notes or weather entries. But what I found was something else entirely. The entries were dated and written in small, precise handwriting. Whoever wrote it, they were meticulous. April 2nd, 1957. The light flickers again, always after dusk. I tried staying beneath it tonight. It hummed low, constant. I'm starting to think it's not broken. I think it's watching me. Chills ran down my spine. I flipped forward. April 9th. I saw her again. In the hallway. Just for a second. She's not a child, but she looks like one. Her eyes are wrong. April 15th. I blocked the study door with the dresser. She knocked 3 times, then laughed. That last line stopped me. The night before, I'd heard something strange. All talp, 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 right outside my door. And then a laugh. Soft, high-pitched, like a little girl. I slammed the diary shut, left the attic, didn't sleep. I couldn't. I started researching the house. Found Old Town Records. Turns out, my grandfather wasn't the first owner. There was a family who lived there in the 50s. The daughter, she disappeared. No body was found. No signs of struggle. Just vanished. Her name was Elaine. She was 7. The next night, I left every light in the house on. Even bought a new lamp and kept it on my nightstand. At 3:13 a.m., the hallway light began to pulse. Again, only this time it spread. One by one, the lights in the house started to flicker. Downstairs, kitchen, living room, until the only light left was the one in my room. And then that too began to dim. I grabbed my flashlight. The beam cut through the dark, barely. I opened the door. The hallway was empty. But on the wall something was written in chalk. One word. Come. I didn't sleep the rest of that night. Just sat on the edge of my bed, flashlight, in one hand the diary in the other. That word written on the wall, come. It wasn't there when I checked again in the morning. Not a smudge. Not a trace. Like the wall had swallowed it. I tried calling my mom that day. Asked her if she remembered anything strange about Grandpa's house. She went quiet, then said, I never liked going there as a kid. Your grandfather used to keep that whole upstairs hallway locked. Said it was bad wiring, but we weren't allowed to go near the study, ever. I asked her about Elaine. She didn't know the name, didn't want to talk anymore. Said she had to go. That night, everything changed. I woke up at 1:46 a.m. to the sound of whispering. It wasn't coming from the hallway. It was inside my room, right next to the bed. I didn't move, didn't breathe, just listened. It was a girl's voice, repeating the same thing over and over. Do you see me now? Soft, playful, almost curious. Do you see me now? Do you see me now? I slowly reached for the flashlight, turned it on, and pointed it at the corner of the room. Nothing, but the whispering stopped. I left the house the next morning, drove 40 miles to a motel, told myself I'd figure out what to do from there, burn the diary, sell the place, forget it all. But around noon I got a call, from my phone to my phone, number on the screen, me. I answered, static, then the same voice. You forgot your light. I dropped the phone, checked out of the motel, drove back to the house. I don't know why. I just knew I had to finish it. The house was silent when I walked in, dead silent. I went upstairs. The hallway was darker than usual. The flickering light wasn't flickering anymore. It was glowing, a steady, warm pulse. And under it, a figure, small, pale, facing the wall. She was writing something with a piece of chalk, the same chalk I'd found in the attic weeks ago. I called out, Elaine. She didn't turn around, just kept writing, line after line. When I got closer, I could read it. He didn't help. He closed the door. He left me in the dark. He didn't help. He didn't help. Over and over. I stepped back. Something crunched under my foot. Glass. The hallway light bulb shattered on the floor, but the light was still on, still pulsing. From nowhere, Elaine turned around, her eyes milky white, her mouth stitched shut, but I heard her voice. Inside my head, he closed the door. You won't. She stepped forward, and suddenly I wasn't in the hallway anymore. I was in the study, but it looked different. Dust-covered furniture, curtains drawn tight, a smell of rot in the air. On the desk, the diary, open to a page I hadn't seen before. April 29th, 1957. She's still in the wall. I hear her at night. I pretend not to, but I know she knows. I try to cover it, but the light always shows the truth. I looked up. The wall behind the desk was wrong, slightly warped, like something had been patched over. I grabbed a chair, slammed it into the wall. Once, twice. On the third hit, the panel cracked, and behind it, a cavity no bigger than a closet. Inside, bones, small, curled up, wrapped in what looked like a faded pink nightgown. And beside them, a flashlight, still on, still flickering. I stumbled back, fell to the floor. I don't remember screaming, but I must have, because when I opened my eyes, it was morning. The house was quiet, normal, no shadows, no voices, and the wall was whole again. I called the police, told them I'd found human remains in the house. Didn't mention the light, didn't mention the diary. They took the bones, told me it looked like the girl had been trapped decades ago. No one knew, no one looked. The case was reopened, but I already knew how it ended. I moved out a week later, gave up the house, donated everything inside, even the diary. I didn't want to carry any part of it with me. But sometimes, late at night, in my new apartment, the lights will flicker just once, and I'll hear it, that same voice. Do you see me now?